Pinkie Pie creaked the door to the twins' room open for the third time in 10 minutes. Still asleep. She held a rifle in her hooves and shook the slumber from her eyes. "Calm down, silly!" her self-conscious screamed at her. Pinkie whispered out loud. "I can't," she whispered. Her little voice did a raspberry. "You used to be so much fun. Now you're pessimistic killjoy. The fools must be just dying to see you laugh. Isn't dying the last thing you want?" You don't understand," she sighed. "Now, please, stop reminding me of my splitting mental state. Please." Her subconscious huffed. Just as slumber overtook the pink mare, there was a sound downstairs. Shivers ran down Pinkie's spine. She threw her rifle aside and rocketed down the staircase, silently praying. The noises were repeated from a walkie-talkie. Pinkie grabbed it as a thick sweat fled down her face. She pressed the button. "Hello? Hello? My name's Pinkie. I have 2 foals at..." The noises cut. Pinkie rubbed the sweat off her brow. Just another belt of static. So much static. The next day, Pinkie looked at the calendar and sighed. Today was the twins' birthday. The foals ran down the steps, both vying for the attention of their caretaker. "Auntie! Auntie! Watch me!" Poundcake fluffed his wings furiously as he flew. When he was high enough, he swirled in a loop. Pinkie giggled at his innocence. Pumpkin scoffed. She did a way better trick for her aunt. Oh, Auntie! Read us a story!" And here was her chance. Poundcake flew over to Pinkie with a copy of Matilda in a hoof. Pinkie took the book, sat in Mrs. Cake's rocking chair, and sat both foals on her lap. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, the hat and the superglue. Auntie? Yes, Pumpkin? Can I try to read? Oh, do you know how? Uh-huh. Pinkie snickered and handed the book to the little filly. Pumpkin squinted and struggled to read the words. She did remarkably well with the easy ones, but struggled with the longer ones, especially the word discipline. Everybody present was surprised with her little trick, but Pinkie didn't take the book from her to keep reading. A few hours went by, and it was the foals' nap time. The 2 were out in an instant, and Pinkie tucked them in. She threw a blanket embroidered with pictures of pumpkins and carrots, her birthday present to them. Day after day, the 3 were okay. Wake up, eat, nap, story, eat again, sleep, rinse, and repeat. For the 5th time in a row, Pinkie's subconscious annoyed her with, "I really am so happy, it fills me up with glee. I give a smile, I get a smile, and that's so special to me." Pinkie furrowed her muzzle into her hooves as the prancing figure sang it again and again. "Please stop! Please, please, please!" The figure stopped, sat down next to Pinkie, and crossed her hooves. "Meanie," she frowned. Pinkie longed for her disappearance. "I'm not insane. I'm not insane. I'm not insane." "Say it all you want. I'm not going anywhere. As far as you know, I'm as real as your foals. Just go away. If you're real, can't you leave?" The figure shrugged. "I don't know, nor do I want to find out. Want to play Battleship with the foals? I'm not sure the foals completely understand the game. How about Candyland?" The figure drew out a long, unpleasant groan. "I like all the sugar and spice in that game, but it's so boring. But the foals love it." "Can I sway you to play Chutes and Ladders?" All right." Just as Pinkie brought the board down to the playing foals, the radio began to act up again. Pinkie galloped over. She bit down on her hoof, begging the radio to spew more than static. And her wish came true. "Hello? I light of... Any survivors? This grew... east of Ponyville." The radio died. East Edge was half a mile away. Pinky's subconscious shrieked and threw her translucent hooves around her. Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh! But Pinky whined. The path is covered in those things. Philly! The figure put her hoof on Pinky's shoulder. If those fools have a chance at living, which I know is how you want them, you need to get a larger group. We've made it this far. You can do it. But how? You can learn a lot of things if you look outside. We have Pinky Sense on our side, girlfriend. I don't see how Pinky Sense can help. Pinky sighed, peering out the window. A path of barren buildings could take them part of the way, but then it was the undead for the rest of the way. Then she saw erratic movement in the corner of her eye. A living stallion, covered in the blood of those things. He was sneaking through a path of them, but he wasn't thinking thoroughly. One of the creatures brushed up against him, and he panicked. The second he started running, he was overwhelmed and devoured. Pinky nearly vomited as his cries drifted through the window, but the thing with the blood, it was smart. It was like he was one of them. The pink mare grabbed her rifle and tied a thick pillow at the front of the barrel. The rest was easy. She dragged the zombie inside. Pumpkin cake! Pound cake! Auntie needs you for a moment. The two foals ricocheted down to their aunt, but both promptly squealed at the sight of the corpse. Auntie, isn't that bad? Pound cake whimpered, and his sister began to cry. Pinky took both foals in her arms. It's okay, little ones. We need this here. Don't be scared. It won't hurt you. Promise? Pumpkin shivered. Promise. Pinky smiled. The foals squealed and sobbed when Pinky grabbed the large kitchen knife. Pinky forced herself to ignore their cries so that she could focus. She thrust the knife into the creature's midsection and pulled out its intestines. The foals shrieked as Pinky rubbed the foul-smelling guts all over herself. She didn't stop until she was completely covered in red goo. Pound and Pumpkin shied away from their caretaker, squeaking as she approached them. Why are you putting that stuff all over yourself? Pumpkin whimpered. Sweeties, this will keep us safe. The bad things will think we are them, but we won't be, okay? Now please, come here. I need to get you covered in this. In that? Pumpkin wrinkled his muzzle. It smells gross. Pumpkin shuddered. I know, but please, trust your Aunt Pinky? Pumpkin gulped and trotted over to Pinky, her self-conscious smiling at the mare. The poor filly shuddered and squealed as Pinky rubbed the mess all over her. Then Pound Cake. She didn't feel safe until they were completely coated in the stuff. Okay, little ones, are you ready to go outside? We're going out there? They both screamed. Yes, but we'll be safer with this stuff on. Just stay close. I promise, I'll protect you. Isn't that what I told your parents? Just don't run, and don't get scared, okay? The foals nodded. Pinky smiled and grabbed a knife. Pinky creaked the door open and herded the foals outside. Remember, quiet and calm, Pinky whispered. It was the most difficult thing she could ever done, her blood running cold every time one brushed up against her. She couldn't panic, and that somehow kept her calm. Her plan was working. Then it happened. The foals both stopped dead in their tracks. The pink mare turned to usher them forward, and then she saw it too. A mare and a stallion. One yellow, the other blue. Both had aprons. Pinky cried. Her subconscious reappeared, and she sung. When I was a little filly and the sun was going down, the darkness and the shadows, they would always make me frown. I'd hide under my pillow at what I thought I saw. Then, do you remember what Granny Pie said? A tear spilled from her eyes, and she grabbed the foals. She took them into an old house, and she sang them a song. The nights are dark and scary when you see the shadows close in. Don't you fear, little filly, all will be okay in the end. I will always be here with you, for all I live is for your bright smiles. A group of survivors expected to find some blankets in an old building, and they found just that. A blanket, but with 2 foals and a pink mare snuggled beneath it. Pinky was grateful for the rescue. The 3 were taken to a walled-in area at East End. There were only 3 truly familiar faces, but she couldn't have been happier to see them. Cheese Sandwich, Maud, and Twilight. As the 3 expressed their joy at finding each other and the foals safe, Pinky watched the foals play tag without worry. Twilight went to greet her, but was met with Pinky's specialty death hug. Her subconscious appeared, smiled, and then faded away forever. Pinky's hair exploded into a puffy mess,